the molten lead. I mustn't forget. I could see the reeds and a line on the horizon. Now it's dark. Now I shan't go home.
Suicide! 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 Suicide!
Gentlemen, if we now to the unfortunate business of expelling a pupil from this institution, we do so for the noblest of motives. We do so to protect this institution from the suicide epidemic that is raging through this and similar educational communities. Does anyone wish to comment?
I can no longer stifle my conviction that it would be advisable to open a window. There is an atmosphere in this chamber that reminds one of a sarcophagus or the courts of justice in Wetzlar as immortalized by
Goethe.
In the sorrows of young
Goethe.
It's good.
Yes, headmaster.
Open a window. By a fortunate happenstance, we have a plentiful supply of atmosphere outside. Does anyone else wish to comment?
With respect to the motion put forward by my esteemed colleagues, I have no objection in principle. I should be grateful, however, if the window were not opened in my immediate vicinity.
Good.
Yes, headmaster.
Open the other window. Does anyone else wish to comment?
Far be it from me to sharpen this controversy, but may I remind everyone present that the other window has been bricked up since. the winter holidays.
Scoot!
Yes, Headmaster.
You may leave the window closed. Gentlemen, as there appears to be only one window that is relevant to this debate, I am obliged to put the matter to a vote. I must ask all colleagues in favour of opening that window to kindly raise their hand. 1, 2 in favour, 1, 2 against. Scoot!
Yes, Headmaster.
You may leave the window closed. It is my considered opinion that the atmosphere in this chamber is perfectly adequate to the matter at hand. Gentlemen, if we now do not recommend to the Ministry the immediate expulsion of this student from this establishment, we risk being held accountable for the calamity that has occurred. Gentlemen, if I may remind you that in those institutions where the suicide rate has reached or exceeded 25%, those institutions have been suspended by the Ministry pending an inquiry. As custodians of this establishment, it is our solemn duty to preclude that ultimate calamity. Scoot!
Yes, Headmaster.
Fetch the culprit.
Since the atmosphere in this chamber has been considered perfectly adequate, might I propose that the other window be bricked up during the summer holidays?
If our venerable colleague finds the atmosphere in this chamber so deficient in ventilation, might I respectfully submit that he have a ventilator inserted in his frontal cavity?
Rudeness will not be tolerated. Might I remind my colleague in the Latin department that I am in full command of my
Faculties.
If I may ask Professors Inkfish and Logospasm to observe the requisite decorum as the culprit is already here.
The unfortunate Mr. Stiefel.
Apprised of his late son's demise.
Search the effects of the deceased in the hope of discovering a motive for this appalling crime.
and came in a place of hiding, the exact location of which need not detain this inquiry.
And came upon a document which provides
Alas, an all too plausible explanation for the deceased malefactor's mental and moral chaos.
I refer to a dissertation of some 20 pages,
Composed in the form of a dialogue,
replete with life-size illustrations, littered with such vulgar obscenities as to satisfy the most bestial and degenerate of appetites, and entitled Copulation, Copulation, Copulation. You shall remain silent!
You shall remain silent.
You shall remain silent.
you shall remain silent.
A member of this faculty, having received said manuscript from the hands of the distressed father, pledged to identify the author at all costs, and initiated a comparison of the handwriting of this document with the handwriting of the deceased malefactor's fellow pupils. The result was a unanimous verdict among the teaching staff of this establishment that the handwriting exhibits a noticeable similarity to your own.
You shall remain silent! Notwithstanding the damning nature of this evidence, we shall refrain from immediate action until the perpetrator of this offence against not relish can be identified beyond all reasonable doubt.
Can be identified beyond all reasonable
Can be
doubt.
identified beyond all reasonable doubt.
You are required to answer the precisely formulated questions that are put to you with a simple and straightforward yes or no. Scoot!
Yes, Headmaster.
The files. I call upon Professor Aardvark to begin the interrogation.
Do you recognize these documents?
Yes.
Do you know what these documents contain?
Yes.
Is the handwriting of this document your own?
Yes.
Does this obscene document of authorship to you?
Yes. But sir, I asked you to show me one single obscenity in it.
You are required to answer the questions with a simple and straightforward yes or no.
Sirs, this document contains only simple facts, which you yourselves can verify.
What insolence!
What insolence?
Sir, I asked you to show me what in this document offends against morality.
Are you trying to make ninnies of us?
I have...
You have as little respect for the dignity of your assembled masters as you have for the sacred gifts of modesty and decorum that betoken man's acquiescence in the divine moral order.
Sir, I asked you again to show me one single obscenity in it.
It is an agglutination of obscenity.
It is a manual of abominations.
It's how to learn Esperanto!
It is how to learn Esperanto.
It is how to learn Esperanto.
In 3 easy lessons.
Sirs!
Be silent! I declare this investigation closed. Scoot!
Yes, headmaster.
Take him away.
Man who is born in sin is blessed by the eternal Father and the gift of grace. Whosoever spurns that gift shall die the death of the Spirit. And whosoever in fleshly denial of God's grace, who has served the cause of evil, shall die the death of the body. Whosoever wantonly casts aside the cross that the All-Merciful has laid upon him for his sins, verily, verily, I say unto you, he shall die the death everlasting. But we, who go forth as pilgrims on the thorny path, let us praise the unfathomable workings of his will. For as surely as the sinner has died the threefold death, as surely will the Lord our God lead the righteous to salvation and the life everlasting.
Suicide is the gravest imaginable crime imaginable against this moral order, and thus is simultaneous proof of the existence of that order. Since the malefactor has spared the order the burden of passing judgment, he has simultaneously proved the existence of the moral order. Debauched, delinquent, degenerate, depraved, despised. How could a child act so vindictively against his own parents?
For those who love God, all things are for the best. Comfort the unhappy mother by replacing her loss and redoubling her love.
In all honesty, he probably would have failed this year anyway.
And even if he hadn't, he would have almost certainly failed the next.
Rest in peace, poor chap. Give my regards to the Almighty. What a degrading way to go. He still owes me 5 marks. We had a wager.
You told him off for boasting. It's your fault he's in there.
It is not. I have just swept through the nights just as he did. If he'd learned his Greek literature, he would have had to hang himself.
Have you done your essay, Melchior?
Only the introduction.
Yeah, well, I don't even know what to write.
Well, word to the one was handed out.
Guess I'll just use the encyclopedia.
Well, have you done the Virgil for tomorrow?
Quickly, the gravediggers will be here soon.
Shouldn't we wait, Elsa?
What for?
We'll bring fresh ones tomorrow.
And the next day?
And the day after?
There's no shortage of these.
You're right. I'll dig up my parents' roses. I might as well give them something to thank me for. They'll grow better here.
I'll water them every time I come this way. I'll bring irises from the stream and forget-me-nots from home.
I want it to look like a garden. A beautiful garden.
I just crossed the bridge when I heard the shot.
Shot, shot.
Poor boy.
I know why he did it too, Martha.
Did he tell you?
Parallelepipedon. But don't tell anyone.
Cross my heart.
Here's the gun.
That's why they couldn't find it.
I took it out of his hand as I came past next morning.
Give it to me, Elsa. Let me have it. Please.
No. I'm keeping it as a souvenir.
Elsa, is it true he's lying in there? Without a head?
He must have loaded this thing with water.
The foxgloves are all spattered with his blood.
His brains were hanging from the willows. Strawberries, cherries, and an angel's kiss in spring. My summer wine is really made from all these things. Take off your silver spurs and help me pass the time. And I will give to you summer wine. Ooh, summer wine. Ooh, summer wine. Strawberries, cherries, and an angel's kiss in spring. My summer wine is really made from all these things. Take off your silver spurs and help me pass the time. And I will give to you summer
scapegoat. My son had the misfortune to fall foul of them just when they needed him. And now I, his own mother, am expected to help destroy him. God forbid.
For 15 years I have observed your ingenious approach to raising children. I have never interfered, though your methods were at odds with my principles. Therefore I cannot reproach you, but you must not stand in my way if I now try to make amends for the damage we have done to our son.
Stand in your way as long as there is a drop of human blood in my veins. In a Borstal, my son would be crushed. Someone who is fundamentally decent will be turned into a criminal. Just as surely as a flower would die if you deprive it of air and sunlight. It's not his fault that he's been hounded out of school. But even if it was, he's paid the penalty. I will never let my son be destroyed for the sake of a principle.
The matter is no longer in our hands, Anna. This was the risk we took as parents. You are simply too indulgent. A boy who can write what Melchior wrote has been corrupted at the core. The very marrow is diseased. This essay of his documents a degree of spiritual corruption that if I were a jurist, I would call moral insanity. If we are to preserve a glimmer of hope, clear our conscience as parents, then we must act swiftly and with determination. For once, be unselfish in dealing with your son.
How am I to answer all that? You'd have to be a man to think like that. You'd have to be a man to be so blinded by doctrine that you cannot see what is staring you in the face. Not let my only child be murdered in front of my eyes. I'm his mother. This is incredible. This is beyond belief. What has he written in this essay? Isn't it the clearest proof of his silliness, of his harmless, boyish innocence, that he can write such a thing at all? You'd have to be some desiccated bureaucrat or pedant to find in it any traces of moral corruption. Say what you will, but if you put Melchior in a Borstal, I shall divorce you.
You will have to accept the inevitable. If not today, then tomorrow. I shall stand by you when your courage fails. I shall begrudge no effort or sacrifice to lighten the burden for you. The future seems grey to me already. I could not bear to lose you as well.
See him again. He cannot cope with viciousness. He cannot live in squalor. He will seek a way out. If I do see him again, his young and innocent heart, his boyish laughter, everything I cherished in him. Punish me. Do with me what you will, but keep your dreaming from my son.
He has committed a crime.
He has not committed any crime.
He has committed a crime. I know how deeply you love him, and I would have done anything to spare you this. This morning, a woman came to see me, so distraught she could hardly speak, and to show me a letter. A letter to her 14-year-old daughter. She opened it out of curiosity. In the letter, Melchior declares to this girl that his conduct gives him no peace, that he has wronged her, that he will stand by her in any eventuality. She should not grieve, even if she feels consequence.
I don't believe it.
This letter, it's a forgery. Someone is seeking to exploit our son's expulsion from school for their own ends. I haven't yet confronted him about it. But take a look at the handwriting. Please, look at the handwriting.
He has no shame.
Precisely.
I cannot believe he's done this.
This governs our decision, does it not? A woman was wringing her hands in despair, asking me what she should do. I told her to stop her daughter from climbing into haylofts. Luckily, she left the letter with me. What shall we do with the boy?
I'm in a borstal.
In a
borstal!
You doing again, Melchior?
No! His daddy won't let him.
He can't get it up. He's only here for the rescue.
It's not good to keep myself apart. They're always watching. Captivity has turned them into cannibals. 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 Into cannibals. Climb through the window, one swing, and grab the cable.
How old are you, Venla?
14 and a half.
I've been prescribing Lord's purgative pills for 15 years now. In a large number of cases, they have proven to be extraordinarily effective. I much prefer them to cod liver oil. Start with 3 or 4 pills a day and increase as rapidly as you find tolerable. You need not go for long, tiring walks or observe a special diet, but in return, you must promise to move around your house as much as possible and not be afraid to ask for food when your appetite returns. Then the heartburn will go, the headaches, the dizziness, the shivering, and this terrible indigestion.
May I offer you a glass of wine, Doctor?
Thank you, no, Frau Bergman. My carriage is waiting. Don't worry, in a few weeks our dear little patient will be as sprightly as a gazelle. Rest assured. Good day, Venla. Good day, Frau Bergman. Now, I recommend you tell her she has anemia. Good day.
He thinks the nausea will pass soon, and it will be right for you to get up. And perhaps the sooner the better, Venla. Did he say anything else, Mother, on the way out? No? Yes, he said a tendency to faint is quite common with anemia. Mother, did he say I have anemia? You need to drink milk and eat meat and vegetables when your appetite returns. Mother, I don't think I have anemia. You have anemia, child. Don't worry, Venla. You simply have anemia. No, Mother, I haven't. I know, I can feel it. It's not anemia, it's dropsy. You have anemia, child. He said you're anemic.